There have been some changes since part 1. Several people contacted me via Discord or in the comments section because they had issues either with the 141XP toolset or the universal crtdbg header. I think now is the perfect time to delve a little bit into Visual Studio project files and fix all that. There have been some good changes in Solokiller's HL updated SDK, part of which, however, was a change in the output directories. But it doesn't quite matter, because you're gonna learn how to change that. So first of all, open up your Visual Studio solution, select both projects and enter their properties. The very first property you're gonna see is the output directory. This is where your DLL file will be created, obviously. Also, notice the configuration and platform options in the top part of the window. If you want your DLL to end up in different folders depending on the current configuration, you can do that. Visual Studio has a bunch of these macros you can use to automate this stuff. Alternatively, you can just browse to your mod folder. I personally don't do that. Instead, I output my DLLs to a bin folder, which is in the same directory as the projects folder, i.e. in the repository directory. Of course, to each their own. You may find it more convenient to output to your mod folder directly, but keep in mind, if you do that, if your mod is running while you're compiling, the compile is gonna fail. You're gonna have to exit your mod first, so that the mod DLL can be overwritten. Now, the next thing to do is to check your toolset. The property platform toolset tells Visual Studio which compiler to use. The default one for Visual Studio 2019 is version 142. Now, 141XP is in this SDK for the sake of XP support. However, I suppose you don't really need that, so you can just change this property to 142. If we take a look at some other properties, you're gonna see various things, include directories, optimization options, and so on. We're not really interested in that right now. Lastly, we have crtdbg.h. This one happens because you aren't using the Windows 10 SDK. If you install the C++ desktop development component, the Windows 10 SDK is already there. All you gotta do is retarget the solution to use it. So right-click the solution and then retarget solution. Select the latest SDK and you're done. It should all be fine now. So we can really focus on creating a new entity, which will be in the next video. So until then, happy programming!